If you plan to drive from London to Scotland, what are the chances of there being no traffic, or every traffic light being green the whole 500-mile journey? It's unlikely, right? You'll need to plan, as well as have a sat-nav or a map. You're likely to hit traffic, roadblocks, diversions, and multiple red lights along the way, but this will not stop you from getting to your end destination. And that's a little bit like how people see life. Sometimes you might feel like you don't know where the destination is, or if there even is one. Have you ever felt like you're slowly drifting in the wrong direction? You're on a path where you don't know if it's going to lead you to where you actually want to be. And maybe that's because you just feel like you're on a journey without having a process. Because just saying that I'm on a journey can be quite loose, which is why we often feel lost and we don't know where we want to be in life. Having processes and being certain is the absolute key. Whether that be from your daily routines, your daily rituals, your habits, your goal setting, ensuring that you have a process. That's how so many successful people have succeeded in life. Not by just being on a journey, but having a process to match that. But what is also true is that progression through that process isn't always measured by percentage, isn't always measured by how much money you currently have, because that's how we do it. We focus on how much money we have in our account, what assets we currently have. We focus on, as a trader, how much percentage we're making per month, overlooking the amount of progression that we're making underground. And that's a little bit like bamboo. Take bamboo, for example. It can be growing underground for almost 5 years when you can just see a tiny little bulb on the top, on the surface. And then within 6 weeks, it can grow up to 80 feet in the air. This is a little bit like our progression and how we're seeing it. We're overlooking the amount of growth we're making underground. And that could be the work that you're putting in, the late nights that you're putting in. All of that stuff is moving you towards success, and you would be doing yourself a disservice if you were to think that you're not making any progression just because you can't see it, because progression isn't always visible. And just like the bamboo, you have to water it, you have to nourish it. Even though you can't see it, you know that there's growth at the end of it. So be like bamboo and understand that things take time, but what that does is it builds a solid foundation. And I think in life in general, we're way too hard on ourselves, and we focus way too much on our weaknesses, and we don't focus on our strengths. And we hear it a lot on YouTube, we hear it, but it doesn't really sink in. But it sunk in for me. Because of my own personal journey, I dwelled way too much on the fact that I was dyslexic, right? When I was at school, I was dyslexic. My grammar, my spelling, everything was terrible. And I spent so much time actually thinking that I was dumb, that I was stupid. Because, you know, the common saying is, come on, don't you know how to spell? These things that we hear this all the time. And I was so focused on the thing that I thought that I wasn't intelligent just based off of the fact that I couldn't spell that much. And it actually pushed me into a really dark place. It pushed me into a place where I felt depressed. I had low self-esteem. I felt worthless. Until one day I started studying successful people. People like Einstein, people like Richard Branson, and realizing that some of the most successful people in the world are dyslexic. Why? Because they can be more creative. They can tap into parts of their brain that some people can't. I started leveraging that. I started realizing that, you know what, just because I'm not good at this, I'm actually really good at spotting things like patterns, which is why I believe that it helped me become the trader that I am and actually develop my own system, my own new way of looking at the markets. That came from me focusing on my strengths, not focusing on what I'm not good at. Everybody's good at something. Focus on your strength. But what is also true is that we live in this world where, upon all of this, we feel like we're entitled to everything. We no longer want to earn our stripes. We want everything instantly. We have Uber, we have Amazon Prime, we have all these things that we can get instantly. And not only does that start with our day-to-day life with things like ordering things online, we then want that with our success. We want it instantly on a subconscious level because we're getting everything instantly. We no longer want to work hard for anything. We've been sold on the idea of working smart, but the truth is, the world owes you nothing. But what is also true is that you owe yourself everything. All of these success stories that you hear, there's a common pattern. They all work their asses off to get to where they are today, and you need to do exactly the same thing. There are no shortcuts to this. Yes, there will be times for working smart. All successful people work smart. But the key ingredient always starts with a sickening hard work ethic. That is how you build a solid foundation. But working hard and smart is just one thing. But the next key ingredient is patience. If you do not have patience, you're going to want to get rich quick. You're going to want the overnight success, not realizing that great things take time. Enjoy being patient, because you'll thank yourself later on down the line. All of these people that you're studying that have built the success that you want were all patient. So you need to follow in those footsteps. People right now, they're seeing their 9-to-5 jobs as a negative thing. How many of you have used this language? I hate my 9-to-5. I need to get out of my 9-to-5. I want to quit my job. I want to escape the 9-to-5. I want to escape the rat race. Look at that language there. Why do you hate your job? Why do you want to escape? What are you escaping from? We have to start changing this escape mindset, because it is not serving you. It's not pushing you to where you need to go. It's disempowering. If you're working right now, especially if you're a trader, start seeing it differently. Start leveraging your 9-to-5. See it as, well, hold on a minute, I'm getting paid to learn how to trade. I'm getting paid to trade. If you start seeing it differently, next day you're going to wake up feeling good about yourself. You're going to feel good about going to work, and that's going to push you forward. So start using it as an asset rather than seeing it as something that's holding you back. Use it to push you forward. And if you're really, really serious about your success, whether you be a trader or you want to have a business, all of you have annual leave. All of you can take a day off. Start doing the day in the life. If you're really serious about your goals, what I did, I used to take days off, and I used to live the day in the life before I was a full-time trader. I used to book the day off, and I would have my routine. I'd go to the coffee shop. I'd go to the exact coffee shop and sit there and visualize and think about things of like, I would like to do this every single day. And I used to do that so much that it felt real. And when it started to felt real, I had the inner belief. People don't always just lack ambition or goal setting or processes. They lack the inner belief to go and get it. And guess how you do that? You have to have something practical. So pick a day off, whether it be 2 days, 3 days, or 1 week. You're quick to book a week off and have a vacation to escape from your problems. Face them head on. Book a week off or a day off and actually start living the life that you wish to live every day. That will show you to your subconscious that you're serious. And that's what you need to do. You need to go all in. Stop flirting with the idea of being successful and go all in. There's an old cliche saying that's just said a lot nowadays, and it almost loses a bit of substance, and I don't think people interpret it properly. You know, you are the 5 people that you hang around with the most. Do you think successful people say this just because it sounds good? Do you think people like online that you hear Gary Vee talk about this because it sounds good? It's scientific. The average human has 75,000 thoughts per day. 91% of those thoughts will be exactly the same the next day. You cannot put your hand in a pot of glue without some of it sticking. The people that you are surrounding yourself with, you're inheriting their thoughts, their beliefs, their mindset, their language. And guess what? That's going into your thought patterns. And the next day, 91% of your thoughts is going to be exactly the same. So what you're saying is that 9% is the difference. Change your language and you will change your thoughts. Because what you think about is what you become. And that is tried and true. It's scientific. Take a good look around at who you're surrounding yourself with and who you're taking advice from. Would you take fitness advice from someone who's not in the shape? Would you take business advice from someone who doesn't have a business or a successful business? Would you take trading advice from someone who is not in the position that you wish to be? No. So who are you listening to? Who are you paying attention to? And through all of that, you're still going to endure struggle. You're still going to endure the pain, but that's going to toughen you up. But the key is how you see struggle. You can see struggle as a bad thing, or you can see it as a good thing. When you see someone in the gym and they're on their last 2 reps, that's where the growth happens. You wouldn't look at the person in the last 2 reps, seeing them as struggling or laughing at them, would you? You would see them at that person's putting in the work because he knows those last 2 reps is where he's going to experience growth. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's painful, but you're going to have the growth. And avoiding struggle is a little bit like avoiding the last 2 reps, because the last 2 reps is what counts. The road to success isn't always going to be smooth. It can be a bumpy ride, but you can use it to build momentum. Momentum is everything. Without everything that I've spoken about, if you do not have momentum, it's going to be hard for you to get started. So how do you start building momentum? You start setting goals. If there's a few things that you can take away from this video, write down 5 daily goals and tick them off each day. Do that every single week and reflect on that monthly. Reflect on your progression. See how far you've come. Make the little 1% tweak that you need to make if it's necessary. Measure yourself quarterly. Do not judge yourself every single month and make big changes. If there's a change that needs to be made, give yourself a quarterly basis. You need to give yourself that window to be able to make that tweak, especially if you're a trader, and assess yourself yearly. Way too many of you are judging yourself every single month, every single week. I'm not where I want to be, I'm struggling, I'm this, I'm that. Judge yourself yearly, at least give yourself a year window to be able to do that and make the tweaks and adjustments every 3 months, every quarter. You'll be astounded of how much growth you make with that type of mindset and that process. If you do all of these things, you'll be giving yourself the highest chance to succeed. Because what is so easy to do, it's so easy not to do. It's so easy to write down 5 daily goals, commit to it, stick to your word and tick it off. But guess what? It's so easy not to do it. It's so easy to do 10 push-ups in the morning. And guess what? It's so easy not to do it. It's sometimes the small things that you think are insignificant are the significant things towards your success. But just remember, no one owes you anything. You have to get out of this entitled mindset and take it upon yourself to take full responsibility and succeed through your own actions, no one else. You owe yourself much more than what you think the world owes you.